on, bro. I bought a beer. I bought a beer with Bitcoin in Thailand in 2017 December.
Epic.
And I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
I was in fucking Pattaya on the beach in a random spot. And they're like, I was like, you take Bitcoin? It was a QR code. I remember I scanned the QR code. I had a Binance wallet at the time.
And
Binance
puts
was
the
allowed.
address on, and you just input the amount of money.
And I input whatever 0.00 whatever the fuck Bitcoin, and I paid for it just to like have that fulfillment. Like, yo, if this random like bar in Thailand in bumfuck nowhere Pattaya can accept my Bitcoin for beer, where are we going to be at in 10 years?
For sure.
You know what I mean? That in that moment, I was like, all in.
And I think it's only going to continue to grow.
It has to.
So there's a couple bets that I made in this market based off of this criteria, which is the USDT needs to be able the US dollar needs to be able to keep its world reserve currency status in order for the US government to kind of keep the economic Ponzi going. Why? Because
you're so funny.
Well, here's
I get it. I'm on the same
so it's
page.
like so it works in this framework. Right now, the U.S. dollar just acts as a settlement layer for what? For speculation. It's a settlement layer for speculation. It's not used for anything else except the stable version of getting in and out of an asset. The moment we stop speculating, there's no real reason to hold the dollar. The moment we stop speculating on Bitcoin and we say Bitcoin is more valuable than the dollar, right? Then there's no more dollar. We're just going to use Bitcoin. That's where everybody's going to move over.
To be fair, though, what is Bitcoin priced against?
Correct. But it's priced against the current reserve asset. So the reserve asset is what it currently anchors.
So you're saying 20 years from now, it's Bitcoin.
Maybe.
Everything's, this is 0.000.
But the US dollar doesn't want that, right? And the reason the US dollar doesn't want that is because the settlement layer for everything, whether it's oil, whether it's
USD.
It should be USD.
Yeah.
So now the government is working really close with stablecoins.
They have to.
USDT, USDC, and the reason you don't see competitors coming up is because this is probably some CIA Fed operation. So any other competitors like Dai, the founder, got suicided in Puerto Rico. Just look it up. He tweeted about it the day before. He said, the CIA is trying to frame me, or my ex-girlfriend is a Russian spy. And she's trying to plant CP on my laptop. The next day they found him dead. And Dai is the decentralized stablecoin that is pegged by Bitcoin and another basket of assets. So once again, that character is a threat to the U.S. government because you're pulling away from the stable reserve currency, the currency which is your settlement layer. And the settlement layer is where all the speculation kind of ends. And today it's the U.S. dollar. The moment it loses that status, it has to continue creating instruments of speculation so that people can continue circulating the dollar. The dollar is no longer a reserve asset when it comes to being able to keep your money safe, but it is just the currency of exchange. But if you want
worldwide, I always tell people this: I can take $100 bill,
and anybody will accept it,
and any country in the fucking world will take. Anyone will take.
Any person will know what it is, right? So Bitcoin is quickly becoming that, but it's different. I think that
there's more education required.
Yes,
like the dollar, I could give it to an old 80-year-old person in Lebanon, and he's like, "Wow, $100."
Well, there's a physical unit. There's something tangible. There's a culture created around that Benjamin Franklin that makes you feel rich, and that's part of the speculation, right?
Yeah,
it's that this $100 bill is worth something, whereas 50 years ago that $100 would have bought you a suite in Manhattan. Today that $100 doesn't buy you anything, and doesn't 2 Uber rides. So the value,
half an Uber ride.
My voice taken black. So I think you need to be able to, if you want to multiply your wealth or hold your value above your inflation, which is 4 to 5% every single year, it has to be in Bitcoin. It has to be in an appreciating asset. You need to be able to find an asset that is like a liquidity wormhole, whereas money comes in, it never leaves. So Bitcoin, safest asset, highest appreciating asset in the last 10 years. I remember sitting in 2017 around Thanksgiving with my family, and this is where the meme of Thanksgiving and crypto kind of took off, which was tell your parents about Bitcoin during Thanksgiving, and then we use them as exit liquidity, because that Thanksgiving Bitcoin dumped from 20,000 all the way down. That's the end of the bull market. But I remember during Thanksgiving, it was everybody in the family goes around and says what they're thankful for that year. And Luke, what are you thankful? I'm thankful for Bitcoin. Oh, what the fuck you mean you're thankful for Bitcoin? That's so shallow. Well, where we are now today,
That's crazy.
So I think you have to trust yourself, develop XP points as a good character, have a good relationship with God, keep the vessel pure so that God can continue speaking with you, work hard, put in the repetitions, find mentors, pour into mentees, build into people, build into your community, into the future, and find ways to arbitrage the amount of effort and money that you're making so that in the future your money works for you.
And in short, what are those ways you think in today's world that are the best ways to arbitrage your time?
I think right now you want to arbitrage attention, right? So you need to create a personal brand. The personal brand doesn't have to be you, but it can be your company. It can be something that people can connect to. If you look at Tom's back in the day, the shoe business, they would give a pair of shoes for every pair of shoes that were purchased. So now you had community and you had goodwill and benevolence attached to the purchase. So I think we're going to a culture where people are looking for these things. That's why you look at Hormozy book launch, and it wasn't selling you books, it was you donating books. So this appeal to benevolence and to goodwill is something really important. I think e-commerce will always exist. I think if anybody that gets into an e-commerce community will be able to make money in e-com, whether it's Amazon, FBA, Shopify, affiliate marketing, TikTok. I think this avenue is really good. And then to multiply your money, I will always be an advocate, at least up until now, for crypto, specifically Bitcoin. It's proven to be the best asset over the last decade. And yeah, could be at $250,000 by the end of next year.
You think? I think it might be sooner.
Why?
I think it just might rip.
I mean, it will. It is. It's ripping.
Yeah.
We're over 100,000, bro. This shit's crazy.
Yeah. So quick shout outs though, just because I'm involved in these, like Ecom Society is crazy what
Madness.
You've done. Like you've taken like what people charge $10,000 for and given it to people at a fraction of the price just to be able to create a community where you can get all the top experts and actually like give people game, but also put people in like a community, which is honestly like one of your superpowers is like creating really high level communities. I've seen this from you since like 2019,
I can't
2020.
LARP as the ecom guy. I'm not the ecom guy, but I know how to build communities better than any ecom guy out there. So I've put together the best people that can help you succeed in e-commerce, and we've put together Ecom Society, and by symbiosis, bringing the best experts in digital marketing, copywriting, the best experts in TikTok, Google Ads, Facebook, people have done billions of dollars in paid traffic, bringing those people together as mentors, right? And creating that community factor is something that hasn't been created, doesn't exist, and cannot be replicated because nobody has the extensity of the network to power a community like Ecom Society. You can go find a course. You can go find a free course out there, but there's plenty of free courses. When you pay for a free course, you get free things. When you pay to play, which is part of the equation, then you unlock new levels. And we'll make it cheap for people, a couple dollars. Link in bio. You guys check it out.
And then you got Gem Hunters too. Which
Gem Hunters, if you're trying to get to the next level in crypto, and crypto is something that's interesting for you, we have the free community, which is awesome. All you have to do is click the link, get access to the free community. And we are in there every single day, charting, analysis, live streams. We spend, I think, $50,000 to $80,000 out of pocket per month for that free community. There's over 40,000 people, free to sign up, free to utilize, free to join. And there's a premium exclusive access part.
That's where the real game is at.
Yeah, but we'll keep that for the people that click the link and see what's up.
And figure out where the real money's at. So last thing to wrap this up, you were speaking a little bit about how personal brand's probably like one of the most valuable things that you can do right now. I don't know anyone who's done it. Maybe like Iman Gotzi to an extent, but I haven't seen anyone do it like you. And I'm close enough to you to see the cult following that you've created, and it's pretty cool because you're not sitting here and like posting 20 videos a week on your page. And like me, I'm like a dancing monkey on social media. I post videos every day.
I watch all your content.
I appreciate that.
And I will say your content is content that people should consume because it comes out of a place of experience. And you shouldn't gauge something's quality by the amount of views that it gets. Usually the shittiest stuff gets the most views. You need to gauge something by the substance of the individual who's sharing the information. You shared a piece of information about, the sauces in your restaurant and how they cost 25 cents and how that was ridiculous because somebody would just throw that 25 cents away and that quarter could actually go in my pocket. And I'm hearing like, dude, Eddie's worth tens of millions of dollars and he's thinking about a quarter, but he's thinking about a quarter at scale because he's thinking about that times every single day. That's $50 times 30 days. That's $1,500 per location. He's saving 10 grand a month. This guy is thinking about things right. So I just talk to my head of operations, say, we need to start laying people off and we need to start cutting our expenses, cut our SaaS expenses by 50% over the coming months, reduce our staff by 70%. And the business ran the same. So that piece of advice from your Instagram reel saved me over $100,000 a month because I applied. I was a student.
I appreciate it. So tell me though, because you've done something that is in a way untouchable. Like people kind of can't see it, can't comprehend it, but like, dude, I mean, can you tell us like just story views? How many story views you get?
Like 200,000. I mean,
which is fucking insane.
Just so you can probably follow it on chain, but because our wallet's Republic. But last year, just off of Instagram stories alone, like $7-8 million net on Gem Hunters.
That's just one business.
Yeah, but that's just Instagram stories,
which is fucking insane.
Stories.
So how like any advice for someone building a personal brand? You've done it in a way which is really cool, which isn't just you build a personal brand, you built authority. Which I always tell my friends, like, it's one thing to build a personal brand. It's a whole nother thing to build a personal brand of authority. I think authority is the game, right? It's like my brother, for example, like he can get 2 million views on a YouTube video, whatever, great. But if he's going to ask people for money, I think a very small subset of those people are going to give him a large amount of money, right? Whereas like my network may be significantly smaller, but significantly more valuable, right? And it's because I have more authority. If I say, hey, dude, you should invest $1 million into my cannabis project, my friend will put up $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas I don't think just because he has more attention doesn't mean he has more authority. But you've done both. So like,
yeah.
any advice?
So the secret is, one, understanding who you're talking to. And who I'm talking to is just me. Everybody's just an extension of me. So I speak very authentically. That's why everything that you see online, people make fun of me or people talk good about me or bad about me. But they're very religious. The people that hate me religiously. The people that talk about me, they talk about me religiously. And I love it because they're still fans, right? They're just disgruntled fans. It's okay. I just have to be able to hang out with them and, take them for a chicken sandwich and they'll be fine. But the entire premise is nobody really knows you. So, I don't take it for whether it's the compliments or whether it's the negativity. I never take it for heart because nobody truly knows who I am. The second thing is that fame can be engineered. I'm not a famous guy. I'm a marketing mastermind. I know how to create virality. So what you're doing is you're appealing to what people are looking for, which is a source of authority. It's called it's the infectiousness of the unconflicted man. You're so unconflicting, you're so certain about your beliefs that everybody believes you. And I actually believe what I believe. And that's the difference between most people is they don't actually have a set of beliefs that are so grounded and principled that they will die for them. So they borrow them from other people like me, which is okay because I'm only borrow them from the truth, which is my source, which is Jesus Christ. When you look at Paul, he says, follow me as I follow Christ. So as long as I'm following Christ and I'm following the will of God, then you have a good indicator. But when I stray away, then you should just stop and stop following me and start ignoring me because I'm not guiding you to truth, right? So I would say people aren't attracted to Luke. They are attracted to the truthful concepts that Luke has discovered and is willing to share. They're not mine. I don't think I'm a genius. I don't think I'm that smart. But the message,
you do a good job quoting people too. You give credit where it's due.
Yeah, I think there's nothing new under the sun. I don't want to come off as a genius. I just know how to compartmentalize and express my thoughts better than others. But others have incredible thoughts. I have business partners that have been buying Bitcoin since $10. They're autistic Asians. They can't formulate a thought in words that in a way that you can understand, but they're super intelligent, right? So I think I just have this skill, so I'm just sharing the truth in the best way that I know. The other form of creating a different way of influencing people is that fame is engineered and that fame is construed. So if you input enough frequency, repetitions, and intensity, like you do in fitness, with distribution for your social content, you're guaranteed to become famous. So yeah.
How much do you spend a month?
80 to 100
grand,
yeah.
Which is crazy.
And I've had to drop down my spending to like 30, 40 because it's just like, it's a money machine. But the ROI is there because my CPMs are 2 cents. So I calculate everything by CPMs. If you are a content creator, you have to realize it's not about content creation, it's about content distribution. That's the name of the game now. When I was doing ecom, and that's kind of where the beginning of my money-making journey came from in my initial marketing skills, I learned that it wasn't the product, it was the creative that was the hook and that convinced people to buy. If somebody landed on my landing page or on my checkout and they weren't already convinced to buy, then the creative didn't do its job. That's the first criteria. It had to convince people. The second criteria is it had to have a viral nature. So there had to be a CTA and there had to be a viral nature to it, whether it was self-induced or whether just something in the video made it viral. Instead of trying to recreate the magic, I would just increase the ad spend. Duh.
Yeah.
So why would I try to recreate the magic on a piece of content?
Just more distribution.
Just more distribution. It's the same logic. So that's why I did 10 podcasts and became one of the most famous people in the world. So funny. Not that much content, but a lot more money, a lot more distribution, a lot more marketing mindset behind that. That's why people don't know anything about Luke Belmar, because there isn't anything about Luke Belmar. I'm nobody. I'm just made a couple podcasts, and you're just so addicted to scrolling on your phone, and I just happen to be there. And I appreciate the money.
How many views do you get a month?
Like 300 million.
That's crazy.
But I slowed it down.
But it's not through your page, right? It's through other pages.
All my pages. We have over 200 accounts. But the fame got so big, I had to like dwindle it. It was way too much fame, way too soon.
What's the cost of fame, bro? Because this is something I don't think people really understand. Like
costs everything, man. everything. Your entire life is exposed. I can't walk down the street without getting recognized. Somebody's always looking over to determine if everything that you're doing is right. You don't know, but cameras, shooting you. And then I'm also in crypto. So it's not that I'm just famous, but I'm one of the most famous crypto people on the planet. And people know that I have money. So it's just like you add risk profile on top of risk profile.
Yeah, you're not just famous, you're famous and rich.
But I think Bitcoin is overall a good investment for the young generation. If you bet on the internet, you're going to bet on Bitcoin culturally, marketing-wise. It's proven to succeed. And I think that we've provided enough value to these people to pull out a pen and paper and hopefully be better off today than they were yesterday before this podcast.
Agreed. And last thing on crypto, I think one of the biggest shifts in the marketplace will be general retail purchasing internationally.
For sure.
Will now be
the settlement will be instant
versus now, like if I'm in Lebanon, I can't make a payment to Nike in America. It's impossible.
There won't be credit card issues. Credit cards won't default the same way that they do. Like cards aren't going to bounce because of
payment processing
issues or different criteria and different
regulations. It's going to get verified.
Done. The settlement layer will be instant. Ecom's only going to be scaling. I think that there's a couple ecosystems that are doing stablecoins extremely well. The first one is TON, the open network, which is built on Telegram. Have you ever done that? Have you ever sent money via Telegram usernames?
I haven't, but I'm invested in the coin.
Okay, so hear this out. This is when I started buying the token. First is Pavel Durov, one of the best entrepreneurs of all time.
For sure.
Owns Telegram.
Fucking
$0.
13 employees.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah,
so you bet on winning people, right? In the stock market, you bet on winning horses. You bet on Elon over the last couple of years. You bet on NVIDIA. You just have to bid on winners.
100%.
So in crypto, same thing. You bet on winners. And what was fascinating to me was when I sent somebody $1 million in USDT via a Telegram username with no transaction fee and no gas fee because it was on the TON network. So I realized at that moment, I was like, dang, I had to call Rolex to send $38,000 wire from my Chase bank account in order to get approved. I had to call them 3 times, was on the phone for 20 minutes. And I just sent somebody $1 million via Telegram just by having their username. And then I was like, whoa, settlement layer, USDT, stablecoins, any company or product that is building with these rails in mind and having crypto in every pocket like TON, they are going to win. So there's a couple of these companies, there's a group of these companies that are going for that. Keep an eye out for them because I think that they're coming for the entire SWIFT banking system.
Yeah, agreed. It's outdated.
Yeah. ACH, SWIFT, wires, outdated, gone.
Yeah, it's the future. So let me, here's how we wrap up all these podcasts. We ask our guests, what's the best piece of advice you ever received?
My favorite verse in the Bible is Proverbs 3:5-6, which states, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Ignore everybody. Ignore the naysayers, ignore the haters. But when God speaks to you, God will direct your path. Listen to him. He's the creator. He's the best business partner. He's the best spouse. He's the best friend to have. Listen to him. Ignore everybody else. And the world is yours for the taking.
Beautiful. with that being said, thank you to everyone who tuned into the podcast. Luke, bro, thanks for coming out here, man. You dropped so much game for everyone. Like, if you got this far in the podcast, you know exactly what to do to take your life to the next level.
Hashtag undeniable in the comment section if you want to be seen and looked at in life, and people say that's an undeniably excellent person.
I love that. And if you guys want access to Luke's resources, things like that, we put them all in the description for you guys. Very easy. Gem Hunters, Ecom Society, anything else. This guy has it all, and he still takes the time to give to everyone else in the world, be able to give you guys access to resources and communities to be able to make your life better so you can make more money. I promise you, the little dollars that you're going to put to those are never going to really affect Luke's life at this point. So,
and with that being said, we are headed to go have some spicy chicken sandwiches.
Scoville chicken, baby. Peace.
Let's roll.
Thanks so much for watching another episode of the Bad Marketing Podcast. I hope you got immense value from it. And if you did, all we ask of you is that you share this with a friend that you think could find this very valuable. And depending on the platform that you're watching or listening to this on, please like, subscribe, or rate the podcast as best as possible. It really means a lot to us. We pour so much money, time, and effort into getting these guests here, filming all this, editing it, all for free just to give you free value. And all we ask in return is that you just share this with people, you give it a positive review so that we can continue to reach more people and impact more lives with all this effort that we're putting in. With that being said, thanks so much for tuning into the episode, and I look forward to continue to provide you more valuable content moving forward on the Bad Marketing Podcast. Make sure you subscribe.